been a really strong voice for the community, especially for trans women of color for a long time. And this is my friend, my sister, my confidant, a holistic therapist, and a spiritual counselor, Valerie Spencer.
Bodyguards wherever you go. Let me just be present for a moment. As you heard, good morning. Good morning, leadership. I have been immersed in the rigors of academia, and it has eaten a substantial chunk of my ass. You all should have told me that this graduate studies stuff is not for the faint of heart. Yes, they say such and such is not for sissies. We don't like to use that word, but they should have told me graduate school was no joke. And I have not had ample opportunity of late to relish in the presence and the energy of my people. And you are indeed my people. And it is good to be with you this morning. Oh, a portrait, yes. Remember, breast, not stomach. Yeah, this is the good stuff I buy, only the good hair. Even on graduate school budget. Yes, it is good to be in the trans-centered space where the healing energy of trans people is all around. I wish everyone in quote-unquote mainstream world could just be in the presence of this room. There's a cure for cancer in this room, illness in this room. We are healers naturally. This is why we have come to a place in our development where trans awareness is popping up. It's popping up like popcorn all over the country because we have beautiful faces, so varied and distinguished, that are representing us in high places. And it is good to be with you this morning. Thank you for having me. Introduced me. She has her own hair. I don't believe you about that. My sister Cecilia, and you know, years ago I met a man, a trans man, believe it or not. And while we were sleeping in the bed together, and he had been making strides at United Way, told me of a dream that he had to one day work exclusively for the liberation of trans people. He bore the grudge, oh yes, I hear laughter. He bore the drudgery of working with United Way and strategically stepped out at just the right time and took up the mantle at Transgender Law Center. And you have outdone yourself, Mason Davis. Know that you are not alone. This whole weekend has echoed that. And often, is my hair okay? Now I'm not one for all these curls. It's a new thing, but you know, just as long as I look simply stunning. As you go out into your own individual silence, is that move? The hardest Boston showbiz. As you go out into your world of leadership, into your own individual silos, and you take on your individual mantles, your individual pieces of the liberation work, it can often feel like you are isolated and alone. And then you hear the dog barkers, as I call them, the naysayers, the what's this trans stuff all about? And you can feel alone and by yourself, and you're walking down the street being trans. And that's a revolutionary act unto itself, just to walk with your head held high and your back arched straight and saying to the world, this is my square footage of the earth, and the earth is God's and the fullness thereof, and since I am of God, this too is my planet, and I will occupy it just as equally as you. Alone and isolated. But know this, you are not alone. A way has been made. And not just a mediocre way, but a way that is excellent and strategic and well thought out and planned. It has meaning in that way. It has intentionality and purpose in that way. It was not a happenstantial way. And it started way before the internet, way before tweeting and twatting and Facebook. That way was made for you even before the word transgender was created. Somewhere in a village in Africa, I'm often reminded that there is someone eons ago in a little village in Africa, a little boy picking seeds and removing dirt. And that boy had a special swish and sway. And that word transgender wasn't created, but there was an energetic presence in that child. And I am the evolution of that child. I hold that presence clearly. That's a part of the way that has been made for you. A whole species of trans people left the human experience to the HIV and AIDS crisis. They did not have the academic excellence that you have, often not the cognitive functioning that you have. They did not have the resources available to them that you have. But yet their ability, their willing to stand on the earth and be who they were, was a part of the way that has been made for you. So as you go out into your leadership, know that you walk with thousands of people in your footsteps and on your backs. You carry a heavy message, but a wide girth lane has been made for you to walk in. And as you walk in that lane, do so unapologetically. Do so with fierceness. Do so with strategy and competence and capacity. Be bold in your leadership. You have every right to. I have the scars alone from cussing out governors across the country. And that's a part of the way. I've done my part, my tiny thread. But each of those tiny threads have come together to form a tapestry of leadership just for you to expand the envelope just a little bit further. Stay in your lane, but expand your lane, right? Expand your lane. And know that at the setting of your sun, what was left undone, some baby train will come along and do it just a little bit better. The mantle. I wish I'd have brought my mantle. I left my mantle at the house. I wish I would have brought my mantle. I could have been the keynote speaker and passed my mantle all in one trip. There will come a stage in your leadership where you must evolve into something else. I am at that stage. I'm weary. I can't be the angry black bitch advocate all across the country. I'm ready to be a holistic healer now. My leadership has taken on a different tone, I still won't put my foot in it, you know. My leadership has taken on a different tone, a different air of sophistication. I've gotten clearer and clearer about what my leadership is, what my in our leadership by means of the crisis at hand. We don't have time to develop a personal vision for ourselves. There's too much crisis at hand to respond to. I encourage you today that as you respond to all of the crises at hand, and there are many and there's more to come, get a sense of what your own vibration is, your own vision of your life is in this work, and then operate in that fully. Know that you are supported and you are loved. We are an inclusive people. We are a powerful people. We're a strong people, and if you give us a chance and some money, we even have style and air and sophistication. Available to us in our leadership. We have those of us in this room who are academics. I'm slowly, surely joining you in the world of academia. We have those of us who are strategists. I love Mason because Mason is one of those long-term visionaries, right? He can see the passage of a bill coming 15 years down the road, governs himself and all of his resources around that 15-year piece down the road. Then you have those who are like me, the visionaries and the intuitives of our people. You have our erotic people that use sexy and sex appeal. That used to be me before the fried chicken and stuff. But they use erotica and sex appeal. And then we have our genderqueer family who use provocateurism, right, to be different. We amaze the senses, we dazzle the mind, we confound the intellect, and just as you are left dazed and confused, the bill passed. That is who we are. Know this as I leave you today, because I've matured. I won't take up more than my 20 minutes. Or maybe just a touch, just a little. I am with you in your tiny places and in your big places. I am lifting you up in high God consciousness. I am knowing the truth about you, that the power, the love, the presence of an awesome creator that made you individually as an expression and collection of itself. I am knowing that for and with you. And if you ever need me, you have but to call me. Because in you I see greatness. And in you, I see myself. I love you, family, and be well. Thank you so much.
I knew we could count on you. So what we have forgot to mention